Benue State, in the north-central region of Nigeria, is known as the fruit basket of the nation. The land is blessed with fertile soils, making it a hub for agriculture and providing the nation with abundant supply of crops and meandering waterways to its expansive farmlands. It's home to over 40 distinct ethnic groups. The Doma, Tiv and Igede peoples, among others, have preserved their unique languages and traditions. The population of Benue State as at 2022 is estimated to be 6 million, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. The Nigerian Poverty Map, NPM, is a federal agency that analyzes the multidimensional poverty in Nigeria, including its composition and disaggregation across states and districts. It's also an interactive dashboard that provides up-to-date insights on poverty in Nigeria. In 2022, the agency put Benue State Multidimensional Poverty Index, MPI, at 7 in 10, that is 75.0%, which represents about 5 million people. We begin our story from Agatu local government area. The area is situated in the central part of the state and is characterized by its fertile land, making it a vital agricultural hub. Agatu is home to a diverse population of people from various ethnic backgrounds, with the Doma people being the predominant group. Agriculture is the main source of income of these people, with the cultivation of crops such as yam, cassava, rice and maize, which plays a big role in the livelihoods of the citizens. Our journey continues through the 43-kilometer Makurdi-Naka road in the capital city, which currently stands in a deplorable and hazardous state. The road's unstable condition is visible, with massive potholes, erosion, and a lack of proper maintenance, which serves as one of the major connecting road infrastructure for travelers. This dire condition has resulted in making travel time a challenge for commuters. My experience driving through this deteriorating road in Naka, the screen fills with great fear and panic as the camera captures the dilapidated, winding path that stretches endlessly through the desolate countryside. The atmosphere is thick with apprehension as I navigate through this lonely, bad road, gripped by the haunting uncertainty of what lies ahead, a trouble evident not only to me, but many other travelers who use this unforgiving route that also poses safety and security risk for any road user on a daily basis. Our investigation focuses on violence between farmers and herders in Agatu local government area. Agatu, a place that many herders call their home. But the plight of herders unfolds as they are forcefully displaced from their ancestral lands, driven by a wave of violence and conflict. We drive some kilometers to Loko, a boundary community, in order to get a better perspective of the ongoing conflict. With desperation inscribed on their faces, they are not happy seeking refuge in local Nasarawa State. They are forced to leave behind their homes, livelihoods, and the very essence of their identity. These herders grapple with the harsh reality of displacement as they seek safety and shelter in unfamiliar territory, all the while carrying the weight of uncertainty and the memories of their once peaceful lives in Agatu. We use the opportunity to seek the understanding about the conflict as it affects headers and the impacts on other headers on the dispute, displacement, and the struggle for survival. Ado of Agatu describes the community as once a serene place where he and many other people grew up.
No, they have not. People who are here also got their cows killed and stolen. They were born there at Agatu, and yet they did those things to their cows. The chief of local gave them this place. Yes, there was a loss of lives, up to 100. About 11 years ago, during the dry seasons, when they go to the river to use water, they get attacked there. They have killed over 100 people in 11 years. They are Agatu youths, and they use guns, AK-47 to be precise. Some of them buy these guns, and for some, wealthy people supply them with ammunition. They are not building, they are not farming, only to graze. Nobody is dragging the land with them. They do not graze there. From outside, they will come to steal the cows. It is not from anywhere else but Agatu. They are crossing the river with their cows, and there won't be peace if these guys are not collected. During the dry season, there are many routes to pass without even entering farmlands. So, yes, thieves and politicians are the ones fueling it. They need help from the governments, since it's a new government. They want to go back to where they stayed before. If they cross, they begin to kill their cows, and their cows are dying. So since they dragged them from there and came here, they have not gone back because they do not want their cows to be finished. They are running because they know that it's the youth that forcefully took their cows. Nobody went or is going to collect the cows. There was a cow they took, and before they killed the cow, they gave the sum of 140,000 to the youths and the rest of the chiefs to allow them to graze. The chief of Ekpele, another village, and those living near ICC collected that money.
We also have a chat with some displaced headers.
A lokacin fada ne an kwashe mani guda 50. Maganganu dai duka arɗa ya gama shi. Maganan barayi shine na kawo damuwa. Maganan barayin shanu su kwashe da rana su kwashe da daddare ma. So samu in Allah ya sa sabon gwamnati na ya shigo don ya ce zai iya ya kashe wutan Benue gaba daya mun gode ma Allah. Ni in koma wajen zamana Oshugudu wurin zamana ke. Wuce 150 bai.
The conflict has spilled over into other communities, distorting the peace. A displaced header provides insights into the complexities of the crisis.
They are begging government now to help them. Government to enter between them and farmers for peace. Anywhere there is no farm is where they follow. The whole Nigeria, if not Benue, there's nothing like ranching. As it is being done, there's no peace. Most of the states are having problems with this. They were able to sit and discuss to settle this matter. The reason why there is crisis between the herders and farmers in Benue State is because of the establishment of anti-open grazing law that has given criminals the opportunity to attack their cattle. They even looked for them. They were never informed. They only heard from people, but not from the government. If they see it not like before, they will agree. We do know those that carry sticks and cutlasses. But the ones with guns, we do not know them. We do not know those Fulani people holding guns. But if we go back to Agatu, where we were before, and the government asked for their cooperation to be able to track the people down, we will cooperate. I'm begging the government to settle the differences between we and the Agatus. If it will bring peace after explanation, we will accept it. Before, I had about 150, but as of now, I do not have even up to 30. Some of the cows were scattered. Some were killed. As I came to Nasarawa, I become a farmer. I cultivate maize. I have about 30 cows now. I just hope that government can help us to go back to the place where we were before. I was born in Agatu and got married there.
This in-depth revelation given by this displaced header can help to resolve the ongoing conflict. We also embark on a day trip to Kwande local government area and its surrounding communities such as Mayan Village, River Aminle, Ayaga, the headquarter of Kumakwai Council Ward, and also visited Agora, Ichembe, community of Yav Ward, Jatwaka, in search of better understanding of the ongoing dispute. In the midst of the farmer-sellers conflict, we explore the challenges faced by the people in these areas, including poor road conditions and the absence of electricity. Along the way, we engage with a displaced farmer.
There is a river here, so the herdsmen are over there. But one day, they will just cross the rivers. They bring so many arms and kills our people, about 16 of them, and we buried them in one place. By that time, nobody was living here. Even the clinic here, all the people run away. It is just now that we are back. But these people are still living over the river there. But due to the plenty of water in the riverside, they have nothing to cross and attack us again. But they are still living there. So as now we are living, but we are still having a fear. But by the grace of God, we just planted our seed, and we are waiting for any help or anything that can still happen to us.
The road to Kwande has long been neglected, making transportation difficult for those who rely on it daily. The absence of electricity is a reality in these communities, impacting their quality of life. One of the best ways to get a better understanding of the conflict was to speak with a royal father in Kwande Area Traditional Council, His Royal Highness Simon Bever.
When this issue of boundaries are not settled, either by the federal government, then there will be a kind of crisis between us and the Jukum people. And in the past, at a point, the government will intercept and the issue will go down. But in recent times, what has aggravated the whole thing is, we don't know why and where the Fulanis have just come from. But they are with the Jukun, they are on the side of the Jukun, and they are the people that are backing them up to push out of the land. And now we have issues of displacement in most of the communities of active and Turan people, starting from Mon to Iaf, through Badura and back to Nkomo districts. These are the issues that we have that are challenging us. And the headers, we wouldn't want our peasant farmers to go to farm. You know, our own is basically we are agrarian people. The tea people are agrarian. We like to enjoy doing farming work because it is what we have inherited from our parents. And the Fulanis normally rear their cattle. And when their cattle are in the bush for grazing, they intentionally graze on our farms, and the issues started coming up. And that is why we have issues of insecurity here and there. And now that you can see, our people are displaced from these areas back to Jatoka town where we are sitting. I became a chief of this area. The people that, in fact, the chiefs that were here, they were having meetings, series of meetings with them and the chiefs in Taraba, and particularly those of them in Kashimbira, trying to resolve these issues, but to no avail.
The conflict has displaced many farmers from their land, leaving them in sorry circumstances.
Here's this issue borders on boundary. Conflict on boundary. National Boundary Commission should be the one to determine whether the boundary Benue State is claiming is maintained, or the one the Jukun people are claiming is maintained. But I think I lack some information about the boundary issue, but hence all the stakeholders that has to do with boundary matter should be involved in order to solve and have a permanent solution. You cannot try to return all our people back to their ancestral homes. So when we go back to our ancestral homes, we begin to start do our normal life activities, and normalcy will return. It is never our making to be at a war with these our neighbors in Kashimbila, because our parents have even lived with them in the past. We should also be living with them. So, but if this issue of land boundary has never been resolved, the issue may continue lingering, because it has been happening in the past. Around 2000, we had some skirmishes with them. There were some temporary measures of peace, but this issue of land has come up again.
These communities reveal the multifaceted challenges faced by those living in the aftermath of the former settlers' conflict. Access to roads and electricity, along with livelihoods disrupted by displacement, are among the issues that demand attention and resolution. In a rare and unprecedented development, a king whom we cannot name to protect his anonymity shares more light on the atrocities committed by both sides.
The first Fulanis who came, they were friendly. They had no weapons. They lived with us as they only give them a portion some yards away from the main house. And if they had any problem, they would come and discuss with the farmers. And it was resolved amicably. There was no clash, no fighting. But as time went on, and whatever be the case, whether the devil just invited them to inflict punishment on the farmers, to encroach on the farmers' farms, bit by bit, like a joke. They would go in, but would not cause any damage. But the farmers, too, became alerted that what is happening? Before this time, these people would never come near our farms. Now they are coming closer to our farms. And they even dare to enter, some cows enter inside our farm. By and large, the cows began to enter and begin to eat farm products, with Fulanis watching. And at this time, we discovered that the Fulanis who came with their cows like that had guns underneath their gowns. And when the farmer there said, no, don't spoil my farm, don't eat products from my farm, that was a sufficient annoyance for him to raise a gun on him and sometimes shoot him dead. And that was the beginning of the trouble.
As he spoke to us, he feels disheartened over the dispute.
Who owns the land? Then the government should order the security agents to operate there and take the people who are imposing themselves on the people, take them away and allow the original people to enjoy their own land.
The politicians are not the ones following the crisis.
Politicians, they are the ones. They are the ones, but we could classify them according to their likes or what they want to do.
We also learned that the elite are the one buying up the land because of natural resources like gold in some of the parts of Benue State. Indigenes of Benue and their elite, they have the resources, causing problem for Benue State people because they want to mine the resources. Is that so, sir?
I cannot now, right now, pinpoint this is the one doing that. But in my discussion with you, I told you the classes of people in the society, in team, and it is the same of what you have said. There are some people who may want to do that, And there are some people, even if you put a knife over their throat that I'm going to cut you, if you say, you will not give me this, they will say, cut it and let me die. Because a tip man, when he is convinced of what he wants to do, he say, a person dies once. You never die twice. Is that not so? So you kill me, you have killed me. I will not say anything otherwise, so that I will leave my people in danger. That is it.
We also learned that they actually employ foreigners to come and mine the mineral resources, most especially at night. Now they've covered the farmland. Some of them have been covered up with fences, and nobody dare go to the places. Is that so too?
Man can do anything to get whatever he wants. So that is possible. When you say there is gold here, and people look for ways to get that gold, and if it is difficult for them, they can maneuver, get some friends within the gold field area, and use them to get what they want. At the same time, others can
Civil society organizations, both within and outside Benue State, have allegedly accused politicians of playing a detrimental role in perpetuating the ongoing conflict. These civic organizations claim that politicians have exploited the deep-seated tensions and divisions for their political advantage, exacerbating the conflict rather than seeking meaningful solutions.
You have to remember that the anti-grazing law has to be promulgated to give credence to political agenda and personalization of the conflicts there. Because if that has not been done, if that sentiment has not been mobilized, it means that the person who wanted to show that, it means that he has not been able to do anything. unless we face the truth about this whole problem of farmers headers in Benue and many communities in Nigeria where you have these consistent problems. You ask yourself, how many herders do you have in the whole country? How many of them that it is impossible to put them under check, under control? That is just to tell you that it has just simply been used as a tool for purely more political interest, political violence, and opportunity to steal money in the name of security bonds.
The activist groups alleged that some politicians have used the farmer header issue as a tool to mobilize support, stoking ethnic and communal sentiments to garner votes during elections.
If you invest in dialogue, if you invest in negotiation, if you invest in mediation, if you invest in peaceful coexistence, we will achieve a lot. But when you deliberately also promote this violence, so that you make a point that you have an agenda to promote and that you want to justify why you are taking such kind of action, then it is extremely difficult to control the situation. So I think the absence of honesty and sincerity in policy approach and implementation by our political elite continue to fuel these problems.
The civil organizations contend that the involvement of politicians has hindered conflict resolution efforts by undermining trust and exacerbating divisions. They argue that it's crucial for politicians to prioritize peace and reconciliation over short-term political gains and work towards fostering unity and understanding among the affected communities.
So as far as I'm concerned, religion plays a little factor in this. Rather, I would say that the inability for the government to have a policy framework that can be honestly, fairly implemented to deal with these problems is one of the major things. Secondly, like I mentioned, the political interest and the corruption as well as land grabbing by the elites, even in those communities, is one of the reasons.
The activist groups are calling for a more responsible and ethical approach to governance, emphasizing the need for politicians to act in the best interest of the people they serve and to contribute to lasting solutions to the crisis in Benue State.